Hey everyone, so I am back out on my balcony with a zillion plants, and these are all house plants that I had in my last place, and they're just looking a little tired. They're needing a refresh. Kind of wanting to do something fun with them, so this might be a multi-day project, but we're gonna kind of just take them out of their containers and mix and match them with other plants, houseplants, and yeah. So it is a lovely January day here in San Diego County. We have the green stalk next to me that I planted up the other day. It's looking pretty good. We've had some chillier weather, a little bit of rain, so it's not like super perky looking, but overall, for a couple days out from being planted, it looks pretty good. Everything will rebound and refresh, and look beautiful here in the next probably couple of weeks, honestly. I'm gonna work on all these plants, drink my coffee. We might change locations a little bit because I do have some plants that I want to pop up on my balcony, or our balcony, I should say. And then we might actually put some plants on some other balconies too. TBD. I'm gonna kind of figure it out as I go along, and we'll see where the day takes us. But really excited to be back planting and getting these plants refreshed. All right, so I just removed my Thai Constellation Monstera because it needs a way bigger pot. As you can see, this is one piece of it, and it has quite the root system. So I'm gonna need to purchase a larger pot for that guy and get it planted up in that. For now, we're gonna just kind of put it to the side, and hopefully today I'll be able to go and grab something for it to go in. What I am gonna do is make a huge mess, but the first plant that I'm gonna work with here is this fern. It is in a pot that says elephant ear, and it is not. I can't remember the exact variety. I want to say it's like lettuce something or other, because it kind of looks like lettuce or celery, or I might totally be making that up. If I can find it, I'll put the name of it on the screen. But it needs some love here because it has some crispy ends from kind of just being moved around and whatnot. But I'm going to plant everything up, and then I'm going to trim it all up. But we're gonna start with this plant, and then I think I'm gonna add in, I believe this is a Chinese evergreen, and I'm gonna add in this because I think that combination is really pretty together, and then we'll see what other plants that I add from there. I'm not loving that. When I was planning this out, I thought this was gonna look pretty nice together, but it kind of looks, I think it kind of looks a little messy, maybe. I'm just gonna peel all this off. Maybe this just needs to be by itself or with like a small, like a pothosy type plant underneath it, maybe like an enjoy pothos underneath it. I do have one of those. Let me go get it. Okay, it doesn't look as bad when I step away from it and like look at it from afar, but I don't know. Either way, let's still put this pothos in here. Oh, and I have a slightly broken pot. Okay. Well, we'll leave that there and figure out what to do with that in a minute. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, for now, I think it's not too shabby. Probably going to leave it like this. What I might do is ultimately pop this Chinese evergreen out for an anthurium that has like a colorful flower on it. Probably, I mean, in theory, a purple one because I love purple. But if I'm going for kind of more of this like monochromatic greens and whites thing that I'm trying to go for right now, at least partially. I do have a lot of plants that have purple in it, but for this space and maybe a couple of other spaces, both inside and like right in this general vicinity, I'm trying to do like a green, white, shades of green, shades of white, ivory, beige, taupes, things like that. So sorry about that, total tangent. Anyways, because of that, I'm thinking maybe popping this out for an anthurium that has a white bloom rather than the purple bloom that I would normally go for. And I think that might make this a little bit more clean. Either that or just leaving it like this. I like something back here. It's got to have some color back here. Otherwise, it just needs to be just this plant. Maybe I should have started with something else. Okay, pivoting. I'm gonna take the medium-sized one of these, which is over here. And I'm gonna take this Dieffenbachia out. And I'm gonna put the fern in it. I think I like that plant. Okay, let's take all of this moss off. Pluck this guy out. Right there. Bring this guy into here. I think that looks a lot better. Just one plant. Since this one's kind of wild and crazy, I think it deserves its own pot. All right, back to this one. So for this one, I think we're gonna put this Alocasia in here. This is the African mask. Alocasia, and it is a really gorgeous one. We're gonna start with this. Well, we're starting with our pothos actually, but because I'm gonna keep that in here, I think that's gonna look nice. And I'm gonna rough this bottom root up a little bit. little bit more. I'm going to do my best to save the soil that it came in. And I definitely want to take the soil away from this base here because that's how it gets crown rot, and it's also how bugs will get into it, especially mealybugs. I have had so many problems with mealybugs in elephant ear and things like that. So there we go. Pop that guy kind of like that. And then I'm gonna go in with this one. I think that will look nice. Yeah. Right about like maybe on this side. Yeah. Stick that guy like this. What else can we add? Let's see. Got a million things in here. Maybe we'll pop this pink stemmed Alocasia in there. It's pretty small. Can easily sit right there like that. Okay. Pop that one off though. Okay. And I think we might, since this only has one, this is a velvet Alocasia. And none of these were very happy in here. I don't even remember. This is some sort of like Florida, I think it's the Florida philodendron. Anyway, we'll stick this velvet Alocasia right here. It'll kind of just be an Alocasia planter. Cool. All right, that already looks better. Love it. All right, so this is my bird of paradise. It's over in this corner of the patio. As you can see, everything is a little cramped right now because I have everything kind of spread out. We've got this chair that's really comfy. I have a Audrey ficus right there next to it, which will probably, like I said, end up moving a lot of this because it's just, it's all over. It's literally everywhere. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll scoot this Audrey ficus away and then we'll put the Dieffenbachia in there and maybe this Ring of Fire philodendron of philodendron Birkin to work with. So yeah, let's just set up the camera and I'm gonna start underplanting that because I think that's actually a really, really good idea to kind of get some of this a little bit more clear. Okay, so I'm gonna split this apart because we don't have a whole lot of room in here. Let's take the one that looks the best here. Maybe that one? No. Let's do this one. Okay. This might be a terrible idea. I don't know, because this is going to take up a lot of room. But I'm gonna try it. Worst comes to worst, we can do exactly what we are doing now, which is repotting things and take it out and put something and just like remove it from here. So, and put, I don't know, rock or something over the top. But I'm thinking if I do that on that side and maybe this one on this side, how does that look? Don't love that on the other side. Maybe if I put it like right there. Yeah. Okay, I like that better. So we're gonna try and put it right here. It's not like show-stopping or anything to write home about, but it's a place for that Dieffenbachia, and I'm fairly happy with it. Momo likes it. And then I think we'll come around the bottom there, probably with some rock. I'm thinking like charcoal colored rock to match this. And I'm also thinking, just because I love it, of putting another pothos draping down right there maybe. Yeah, I love pothos hanging down from things. It's just so pretty. So what I did here is I took off a branch of the pothos, and then I actually broke that branch into 3 different pieces. So there's a piece right over here, a piece right here, and then a piece that kind of curves back around through this way. And what I plan to do is, you can kind of see here, is I'm gonna pile the dirt over the top of the main branch right here, because there are air roots coming out right there and there on each of these. And when I have them poked down into the soil here like this, and the dirt covering them up, then they will root in. And so I'll just take a bobby pin and stick that down in there to hold it in place, basically right here and right here where my finger is, right there, along this branch right here, and then cover it over with dirt so that these air roots have a chance to become regular roots. And then it'll root in and it'll be wonderful and just kind of grow around this. And I can clean up the crazy mess that I made right there. But I think that's gonna look really nice. I am still planning on putting the charcoal rock around that. I think that's gonna look really pretty. And then my plan, if I back up right here, is to kind of scoot this chair over a little bit, take this lamp, and gonna put it somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where exactly, but somewhere else. I have an idea. I'll probably put it back in the house because it is a house lamp. And so yeah, I'll scoot this chair back over, give that a little bit more breathing room, and then we'll tidy up this area a bit. But I'm really happy with that. You can see that I'm a crazy plant lady, and Momo likes the plants too. Momo is Greg's cat. She's a pretty stray from Rosarito that he rescued. Okay, on to the next plant project. All right, so we are 3 planting projects down. Who knows how many more to go, but let's keep churning along. We have a lot of plants left to spruce up and make look a little better. Alrighty, so our next plant that we are going to repot is this. It is I wish I had the tag still. Maybe it's on here. Ah! Okay, this is a pothos, and I'm gonna have to put the name on the screen, but it is a more rare variety as well. I do as much purchasing of rare varieties of plants as I possibly can. One is a Lowe's special. I got it a few months ago. It was grown by Altman Plants in Napomo. And they do a great job. That would be a really cool, I know it's hard to get into growers, but I would love to get into a like tropicals houseplant grower and like see their operation. That would be really cool. Maybe that's a 2026 goal. Yeah, I think that's a 2026 goal. So with that being said, I need your help, because the best way that I will be able to show you around a place like that is through your help. So if you could like and subscribe this video, comment what your, like, I don't know, what's your dream rare plant or dream plant in general, or I don't know, something gardening related that is like a goal of yours for 2026 or even in the coming years. And then also, if you would share my channel with your friends and family and have them subscribe, that would totally help out. The more subscribers that I have, the better content that I can bring you, because people will want to have me show you around places. So yeah, and that would be really, really fun. And I would be grateful, and I would love it. So anyways, on that note, let's plant up this guy. I can't believe the plant amnesia that I'm having today. It's driving me crazy. But we're gonna plant him up. Okay, and I'm stealing some soil from this pot because it's pretty healthy looking soil. Nothing crazy was in it. And I actually am using our container that had what was it? Oh, the fern in it. And I'm gonna sink it down into this container because this container does not have a drainage hole. Sweet, okay. Let's sink this guy in here. I want it a little higher, I think. Let's just throw that back all in there. Okay. Cool. And then we'll put this out the roots. Around here. Nice and tucked in. It's just slightly potted up. You don't want to over pot up plants like this, because then they'll be like, oh my gosh, I am swimming in the ocean when I used to be swimming in a pond, and it'll freak them out. Okay, next, putting in our moss pole. And then we will wrap these around the moss pole. Okay, we finished our project. Everything is not necessarily clean or put the way that I have planned for it to be, but it's a little bit tidier. Obviously, this whole area is going to change. I don't want pots just sitting around, or future plants sitting around, or soil or anything like that, especially since this is the first thing that you see when you walk out the sliding door here. This is not how it's going to stay. I eventually want to style this table up and exchange all of these plants and put them in different spots and make that area look a lot more styled and cute, kind of like how this looks right now. This is fairly what it's going to be. I think I would like to put some sort of art or something right there. And then we'll probably get another pillow to back this one up a little bit. I love these crocheted pillows. They're super boho and cute. And then, like I said, we'll probably end up having a rug. Maybe it might go this whole length, or it might be a couple, I don't know. But either way, this is going to change basically from this plant all the way over here to that plant. All that's going to be a little different. And then we have this area over here that has our green stalk that's growing in, this other chair, our plant that we potted up, multiple plants together. This is also awaiting decision. It's 2 different types of philodendron, a Florida philodendron, and then this other guy right here. And then in this section, we have a African violet that I need to fertilize, and I bought the fertilizer for, so we'll sit that right there for now. This is a ring of fire philodendron, just potted it up by itself in there. And then this is kind of our little, I think this is the most pretty thing that we did all day, with the Enjoy Pothos, this Alocasia with the pink stems, our Chinese evergreen right here, and then the African mask. So that is going to do it for our video today. Hope you enjoyed replanting some things with me, getting some tidying done on this balcony that really, really needed it. I look forward to sharing with you the next steps out here of getting everything styled, and have a little bit more design aesthetic as opposed to just plants bombarding the entire area, which is kind of what it looks like right now. It's going to be good. I have some good ideas, so hopefully we can execute on them. So with that, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, engaging in some way with this content, whether it be commenting or what have you, I would really appreciate it. Any shares to your friends and family that might enjoy this type of content also, I would greatly appreciate. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.